Chelsea versus Valencia CF. Now, I just want to get this, off my chest, bro. Can we, for once, have journalists that ask reasonable questions at press conferences? Like, my goodness, bro. They were asking redundant questions, asking the same thing. Like, I understand Tammy Abraham, he had a hat trick on the weekend. I understand it's big news, and they want their questions asked. But I feel like they were asking redundant questions, asking the same questions or similar questions, just asked in a different way. It was really frustrating. What about Emerson? Nobody brought up Emerson, right? And it's weird that they were speaking most of the questions, at least from the part I've watched. I haven't watched the complete press conference yet. They were asking Kepa in English questions when they had, it was just weird that once in English. Anyways, man, it just, I'm being nitpicky, right? I just wish that the journalists would ask more reasonable questions. But let's get straight into it, man. No Emerson, no Rudiger. So you know what that says to me? Back three. We need a back three. Or do we need a back three? Valencia play with a 4-4-2, and they have been on a bit of, inconsistent form. Valencia have been struggling in their last 4 games, only winning 1 out of the 4 games, right? And they just got stumped 5-2 by Barcelona, but it's Barcelona. But it's a messy-less Barcelona that they lost 5-2 to. So it's, they're obviously leaking in goals, right? They have only kept 1 clean sheet in the last 4 games, and with all the turmoil, they recently just sacked their manager, and it's already been reported that their GM now, their director has allegedly already put in, or is in the works of putting in his resignation, right? So they're obviously dealing with a lot of turmoil behind the scenes, but that is just perfect for Chelsea to slip on a banana peel, right? It's everything pointing in the favor that we should be winning this game, but despite all that, I'm pretty sure Valencia is going to have a point to prove. They just got embarrassed 5-2, right? They're looking to prove a point, right? They're looking to shine a bit of light or positivity on what hasn't been a great start to the season. So, obviously, it's going to be a tough game, right? It's at Stamford Bridge. It's going to be home. Champions League football is back where it belongs, at Chelsea, at Stamford Bridge, Fantastic, man. I just, there's something about that theme music that once you hear that theme song, the Champions, it's beautiful, man. I'm happy. But look, with more than likely Kante not playing, with Emerson being out, even Rudiger, he's not going to play at all. He didn't even travel with the team. So, do we go with a back three? It did work wonders for us, and even players like Christensen, who I said in my last video, he's played under the back three system. And he had his best back at Mönchengladbach in the back three. So, he just looks comfortable in that role. So I like the back three in this situation, that we don't have Emerson, we don't have Rudiger, we don't have, more than likely won't have Kante, and Reece James and Hudson-Odoi might make the bench, but they probably won't play, right? They've traveled with the team, they trained with the team. So there's a chance that they could make a cameo appearance. They could even start. You never know. But I doubt it. Lampard has shown a pattern of not risking any injuries, of taking the time to, letting players slowly work back into the team. Kante probably can play. Kante is probably 85% fit right now, right? But he's probably saying, you know what, we got Liverpool on the weekend. Let's just, use the players that we have at our disposal and let's try to make the most out of it, right? And that's what I like about Lampard. There's no definitive way of how he sets out his teams, right? He looks at the players that he has. What are their best attributes? What can I get? How can I get the best out of these group of players that I have? Let's do a 3 in the back. We don't have Kante. This will give us some more flexibility, some more defensive support. So, I'm all for it. Let's go with 3 in the back. It worked wonders, right? We got 5 goals. We created 5 goals. Well, we should have had like 6 or 7, right? Well, we missed a couple chances and, some moments in the game where we didn't take advantage of opportunities, right? But I think we should go with a 3-4, whatever we play. The club had it listed as a 3-4-1-2 or something like that, but it's a 3-4-3. So let's go with a 3-4-3, right? Because Alonso, he's shown that he's a system player. He actually can produce, right? At that left wing back position, he's shown that he can thrive. Yeah, he was responsible for the second goal, or he could have done better with the second goal that Wolves scored. But overall, his game was great, right? He had his best game in a long time, in my opinion, right? He stood out. He had a great assist as well. So, obviously, the wing-back position is suited for Alonso. And I also think playing with three in the back, playing in the system that we played against Wolves, a team that is similar to Valencia, how they like to play. They like to play on the counter, and they're very happy with letting you have possession of the football. So I expect them to hit us on the counter. Like I said, they play with a 4-4-2. So maybe if we can have, the 3-4-3 or maybe the 3-5-2, right? Compact that midfield, can have control of the game. I think the fact that they do use a 4-4-2, we can outman them in the midfield area. Use the flanks. Exploit the channels in behind the defense because, like I said, they've been leaking in goals, right? They only have 1 clean sheet in 4 games, right? So we should be, so yeah, Valencia have been leaking in goals, and they also have been struggling to score goals, only putting in 5 in the last 4 games, so that's like 1 goal a game, and, they conceded 7 in the last 4. Obviously, they conceded 5 against Barca, so that kind of ups it up a little bit, but this is a very winnable game, man. And another reason why I'm pushing for us to use the back 3 in the back, the amount of space that our creative players like Jorginho, Mount, Kovacic had inside the midfield, they were able to do whatever they wanted inside the midfield when they played against Wolves. And I know it's 2 different teams, but like I said, they play similar, right? Even though they play, I just like that the fact that our creative players had much space and much time to work with. Also, the fact that you can have your wide center backs, right? Your left center back and your right center back. Even your middle center back, they can break the lines, add the extra man in possession to allow creative players to maybe go a bit more forward, give us the extra man to pass through, the extra outlet to use. It was very beneficial, right? And I think especially, I can't stress this enough, especially since they play the 4-4-2, that's just going to open up, I believe. We should be able to boss the midfield. We're definitely going to have more possession of the football if everything goes to plan. But anyways, let me get on to my predicted lineup, right? The players that I believe is going to play and start with Rudiger, Emerson, those players being out. I believe the back 3 is going to be Tomori, Christensen, and Zuma, with obviously the main man himself, Kepa, is in goal. And the wing backs are going to be Azpilicueta and Alonso, right? Pretty much the same team that played against Wolves, right? That started against Wolves. And obviously Kovacic and Jorginho as the midfield pairing. And you will have Mason Mount on the left. And you will have Tammy as the striker. Or maybe Michi, right? I did see that, Tammy did like tweak his calf or whatever when he was coming off. Like minutes before he came off. So maybe for precautionary measures, maybe Michi gets to start, but I wouldn't be surprised because Lampard didn't say anything about Tammy picking up a knock, and he trained with the team as normal. So obviously he's more than likely fit, and it was just more of a tweak or like a slight pull, right? Nothing major. And then obviously you will have Pulisic. Maybe Pulisic starts. He didn't even feature in the game against Wolves. Maybe Pulisic starts, or William may start again. I think, if it was up to me, I think Pulisic has to start because, William's not a player that consistently can play 90 minutes each game, each week, right? So rest William, have him come on the bench or have him be an option on the bench and have Pulisic start, right? That is my starting 11. That's the 11 I believe we're going with. I don't think there's going to be much changes because, like I said, we just played on Saturday, right? It's not much, even though the game is at home, I don't expect many changes, right? Because it's not enough time to really change much, right? So I believe stick with a 3-4-3, right? It worked for us on the weekend. It should work against Valencia. All due respect, Valencia are a very good team. This is by far not a landslide game, right? This can easily turn into a victory for Valencia, right? They can show up and have a game, have a go at us, right? So you never know. But I expect Chelsea to win. I'm not going to give a scoring prediction because, like I said, I'm terrible at scoring predictions, man. Terrible at it. And it usually goes the opposite way. Like, for example, I predicted Man City would beat Norwich City 3-1 and they wound up losing 3-2. Right? But anyways, up to Chelsea, man. This is Champions League football, man. I'm ready for it, man. It's something about Champions League, bro. I just missed it, man. We don't belong in Europa League. You know, the big clubs belong in Champions League football. I'm leaving it at that. If you didn't watch it, you know, watch some Arsenal fan TV, man. I'm telling you, there's nothing better than Arsenal fan TV after a 2-0 bottle job. You know, it's fantastic to watch. Even though I have to admit it was a bit anticlimactic because I didn't get a rant that I wanted, but it's still good to watch. Anyways, up to Chelsea, and I'm out. Also, if you haven't already, it's still not too late. If you want a chance to win a jersey for the 2020 season, right? Coming to the end of the season, right? The Fantasy Premier League. If you need the code to join the Fantasy Premier League team, right? For a chance to win a 2020 jersey, not this season's jersey, but the following season's jersey, right? Because the winner will be picked at the end of the season. The person that finished top of the league, right? I have 2 leagues. If you want the code, I'll leave the code down below, and you guys can go and, you know, enter my fantasy team. I'm terrible at fantasy team as well because I'm like the bottom of my own league. So, anyways, you know, good luck with that. Up to Chelsea, and let's go get those 3 points, man. We need it. We need to get off to a good start. This is going to be a tough group, but it's a group that I believe we can finish top of, right? It's a good, warm. I want to say a warmer group because it's disrespectful, but it's a good group to have right now because it will get us ready and prepped for the knockout stages if we are to go through, which I believe we have good chances to go through. So yeah, up to Chelsea, and I'm out.